So today we're going to talk about another attribute of God called wisdom, or omnisapience. So what's a definition of the wisdom of God? It's an attribute where God produces the best possible results using the best possible means. When we think of knowledge, it's a simple act of understanding, apprehending everything that's possible in our ability about some topic. So wisdom uses that knowledge, and it's the practical use of that which is understanding, plus the will to use it, that determines the level of wisdom. And so this is all real. I know it sounds like legalese, but it's all important. So God's wisdom is infinite and eternal. That sounds like that's the wisdom that we want. I think knowledge and wisdom are kind of the same for God, or very close. So when what we see, that's a creation, providence, grace, is the best possible solution that glorifies the Lord. It uses the best means with everything God has at His disposal. So knowledge is learning truth. So we talked about learning about a topic, but knowledge really is learning about truth. Whatever wisdom God has, that's truth. And so wisdom is the application of that truth to our lives. For instance, Proverbs. So if we read Proverbs, we learn about truth. Since God is infinite and wise, He must be infinitely wise. So as applied to God, wisdom refers to His unerring ability to choose the best means to accomplish something. Let's look at some scripture then. 1 Corinthians 1, 18 through 19. For the word of the cross is foolishness. So here we first get to those who are perishing, but it is power of God to us who are being saved. So wisdom of humans is not the same all the time as the wisdom of God. In fact, humans think the wisdom of God is foolishness because it contradicts what they know to be true. But God says, for it is written, I would destroy the wisdom of the wise, and I would set aside the intelligence of the intelligent. So there's two kinds of wisdom. One is false, but those people can't see the wisdom of God. 1 Corinthians 1, 22 through 24. The Jews ask for signs. The Greeks seek wisdom. It's kind of like an addiction to learn more. But we preach Christ crucified, a stumbling block to the Jews and foolishness to the Gentiles. So once again, we have this example where the wisdom of the world is not the same as the wisdom of God. Yet to those who are called, both Jews and Greeks, Christ is the power of God. Christ is the power of God and the wisdom of God. So when we read what God says, what Christ says in the Bible, it's the wisdom of God. So think about that when you read all the red stuff. How about Ezra? We just have time for one more. Now let's go to 1 Corinthians 2, 7 through 8. On the contrary, we speak God's hidden wisdom in a mystery, a wisdom God predestined before the ages of her glory. How about that? Wisdom starts at a certain time. Okay. None of the rulers of this age knew the wisdom, because if they'd known it, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. I find this mind-boggling that they didn't know this wisdom, although the clues were there. And then all of a sudden, at a certain time, this wisdom becomes fact. It's amazing. All right. See you next time.